All right, good day, good evening, etc., ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Live the Fuel podcast show. And I'm recording this live on Sunday Fun Day. Actually, we're recording this to timestamp it on October 27th. We have not aired a new podcast in a few weeks because per episode 300, that's right, 300 episodes in 3 years, I needed to take a little bit of a hiatus. We've been just cranking it, guys. And I just wanted to come back on this weekend because I got more travel coming up this week, heading back to my lovely state of Colorado. Love it. Gonna mix a little business and pleasure. So the point of today's podcast, make it short. We're gonna be experimenting with some shorter content as well as the long-standing longer content, because those people who are newer subscribers to this show, because that's right, we still gained new subscribers. We still have newer listeners. That's the power of online digital content and the power of evergreen content such as podcasts and YouTube videos and things of that nature. These are things that I teach people with my sales, marketing, and branding business arm. But still got some downloads hitting. Even though we didn't air any new shows in the past few weeks, this is the first time in 3 years we didn't do that. But again, as a refresher for the newer people who might just stumble across episode 301 and haven't listened to the prior shows that are up online, I've been trying to get our book done. And I call it our book because, yes, I am the author and this is my first book. But the reason behind this was to keep building on this ideal of creating a legacy, right, and giving back. And these are just things as I continue to pick up as I get older and I experience new things and meet new amazing people and mentors and influencers that are out there, the conferences I attend, to the sporting events I go to, et cetera, et cetera. So Hot Shots, the book specifically is actually So You Want to Be a Hot Shot, kind of like a question mark, exclamation point. We don't have a cover done yet. We don't have the final artwork done yet. That's still in planning phase. The book is written, but obviously the reason why we took this hiatus is because I just been slammed, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, 3 years of podcasting, this is all stuff that I do for free. I've never in the history of this show taken on a paid advertiser. I've promoted a few things over the years, things that I specifically use, healthy products, healthy food, healthy snacks, etc., marketing platforms, software, everything else. These are just things that I use. So I have no problem sharing if it helps somebody figure out what they want to do next. But anyway, the reason behind this podcast episode is to catch you guys up. So for the most part, the podcast has been rocking and rolling still in the background. I've actually still been recording new shows. So I did tighten up my calendar a little bit. But if people booked, which they always do, we were still recording shows during this hiatus. The biggest issue is I just wanted to take a break with my editors. I wanted to have a little bit of a clean slate of my brain, wanted to have some time. Because a lot of people always ask me, like, dude, how do you do everything you do? And number one, it's flattering that somebody even asked me that question because I do have a lot going on. And I just want to be able to focus on the book. I've been putting it off and I'm not investing enough time. So the editing is almost complete. I'm excited to say that. It's not done. I wanted to be done. That's why I took all these weeks off since episode 300. But it's just, dude, editing is rough. I'm going to throw it right out there. Because while you're editing a book, you're going back, you're rereading your content, and you got to catch yourself. Because like you could really fall down the rabbit hole and be like, oh man, let me tweak this. Let me build a new chapter here. I literally built 2 new chapters while editing this book. Super annoying. But a quick refresh for the newer listeners is I voice transcribed my book over the end of 2018 into 2019. And I was really hoping to just get this book fired up and out there. I paid like $3,000 to join the self-publishing school, private mastermind group for authors, people looking to self-publish on Amazon. So I thought, hey man, once I pay cash, I'm usually like all in, right? Like, let's do this. And I was. I finished the book. I voice transcribed it during all my business travels. But I mean, then I realized, oh man, they're all on sound files. And I did use some transcription software, but it's not perfect. It's not 100%. So you still got to make the time to go back and reread all of your chapters, make sense of it, build the paragraph structures, sentence structures, all tedious things that I didn't want to do. But one of the reasons behind this, though, is that I can't. Yes, people do hire professional editors, and I do. I have a couple in my back pocket that I'm ready to hand off to. However, you still got to make sense of your content before you hand it to an editor. So just throwing that out there as a tip. So that's what I've been doing, is just going through each chapter, rereading them, building some content structure, tapping into my good old English courses from college and from high school, I guess, club courses that I hated. But hey, it is what it is, guys. These are the challenges of life. You want to become an author, you got to put in the sweat equity, or in this case, the eye sweat equity, because you're just staring at this stuff, go back over it. So anyway, the book's almost done. I've got a little bit more editing to do. As I hinted at the start of the show, I got some travel again coming up. So this week coming up, as we enter into November, I have some business travel in Colorado for some big sales meetings and conferences. Hold on, let me look at my calendar here. It's going to be the Tuesday, Wednesday, I think, coming up this week. So again, we're recording until Sunday, October 27th, 2019. I'll be flying into Denver on, the 29th. And then we got meetings the 29th and 30th business-wise. And then I'm taking off from Thursday to that Saturday. My wife, Dr. Kristen, is flying out with me. We're both just tanked out. It's just been go, go, go. She's got her business to run. I got my business to run. I'm helping other people run their businesses. You're trying to edit a book. Even though I took a short break from the podcast, I was still recording podcasts, still interviewing people, still going on other people's podcasts. Heck, let's fully catch you guys up. In the past few months, I launched Fuel Foundations, my new nonprofit, the 501c3. So getting that put together. I mean, even though you launch it, there's still work to be done. We pulled off our annual Hot Shots 19 annual fundraising workout, raised over $500 for that. That all gets earmarked towards fire departments here in Pennsylvania. Now, I used to give it all out to Arizona years ago, but then the families of the fallen Hot Shot 19, the Grand Mountain Hot Shots, are well taken care of. Again, you can go back, find all this on LiveTheFuel.com. Plenty of keyword searching to do there. You can find all the past episodes. I've talked about this many, many times. So, and then my local mountain biking park that I love so much, I call it the Jordan Creek Single Track. It's Jordan Park, or Jordan Creek Park, because it's owned and controlled by Lehigh County. And there was no social media presence. So obviously, me being a social media marketing professional, I said, well, let me just start building a fun brand page behind it and see where it goes. There's a few hundred likes and followers on there. And there's lots of people who love the park and love the mountain bike there. And I just started becoming the trail junkie that I normally was. If I go out mountain biking and along the trails along the creeks get overgrown, I went down there, spending my free time with weed whacking. I mean, literally like a string trimmer weed whacking, hiking in or biking with the gear on your back and just trying to take care of the trails when you can, because it was just annoying me, but also annoying friends and other people I know riding there. Well, I'm only one guy. I mean, don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen, there's other volunteers who from time to time pop into the park, fix this, fix that, drag stuff out of the way. But this is a park that's been around a long time, and the trails were created years ago by other, bike love guys, and the county doesn't take care of them. They only take care of the 2-track roads that they could drive their vehicles on, through the park. And then if there's something near that road that they can see needs to come down, or a dangerous tree, whatever, they'll do what they can. But more often than not, it's volunteers like me and my other friends out there that are, hey, let's clean up this trail. Let's improve this. Oh man, there's some mud spots. Let's dig a drainage so that way the trail dries out nice so we can ride it. And there's people who hike it, walk their dogs on them. So it's not just the bikers like us, but that's the primary utilization of these single track trails. But there's also hikers, dog walkers, trail runners, etc. So anyway, I started the Jordan Creek Single Track page a couple years ago on Facebook. And then just the past couple of years, especially this year and last year, put a lot of volunteering time in to really make these trails get better, like cut them open, get the weeds cut back. Nobody really does that. And, my other fellow volunteers, they're trying to put little obstacles in, little jumps here, little bridges there. And I say, I'm a branding guy, obviously Live the Fuel on the hat, all the coffee mugs, online podcasts, etc. Like, I'm helping other people grow their brands online. This is my passion project. I now have a nonprofit that I never planned to launch, but obviously, hint, hint, we did it for Hot Shots 19. I moved to Hot Shots 19 under that. That's my annual fundraising workout for firefighters. And then I was like, oh man, me writing the book, right? Well, now the book, I decided 100% of the proceeds for the book, once I get it out there, once we get it up on Amazon, and hopefully you, the listeners, buy it and other people share it, I will donate 100% of those proceeds into the foundation. I'm not taking any profit. Let's be real. One thing I've learned in this self-publishing school mastermind group and learned from other authors, you're not going to become Richie Rich off of authoring a book. Let's be real. It's just a passion project. All right. You're trying to share a story, trying to get some life lessons out there. That's my goal of the book, and also give back. So when the Hot Shots book is done, 100% of the proceeds will go into the foundation, and then I'll be able to earmark the foundation's funds towards, hey, if there's a big fire and a fire department needs help, I could just rotate it to whoever I want, because it's my foundation. I have board members now. I've already elected my wife and another big trail love guy, shout out to Brian Strausser, the Strausser Project, and those are our initial 2 first board members, just so people know it's not just me. They don't think I'm just like secretly funneling, tax exempt money or some crap. There's all kinds of haters out there. You never know. So anyway, I got the Hot Shots book that's going to benefit that foundation. I've got the annual fallen firefighters workout, the Hot Shots 19, that we do in the CrossFit space. That's going to be benefiting the foundation, and then obviously the foundation can give back as we see fit. And now I moved Jordan Creek Single Track under that, because I've been paying out of my pocket forever, and I still will. Anything that I personally buy for my own initiatives, I will continue to pay for these trails, because I don't want people thinking it's a muddying of funds. But I decided to create a cool new decal and a sticker for that. So actually, ever since episode 50 on this podcast, we actually do video recording for the YouTube channel. That's why we're streaming this live on Facebook right now. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and screen share, because I'm really proud of the new logo that we created. Here we go. So the Facebook page is jordancreeksingletrack.com. And this is the new logo. So we had the JCS created to symbolize Jordan Creek Single Track. And this is my creation. Again, started this page a while ago. Never really had a logo, never had a brand. I just wanted to create a place so people can go and find trail updates, or if there's damage, or just to celebrate the volunteers getting work done. But I'm really happy with this logo, because the J is actually a derailleur hanger that your rear derailleur, or AKA basically the mechanism that helps your gears shift up and down on the chain rings, which is the C. C is actually cut out of an actual gear or chain ring from your mountain bike drivetrain. And then the S symbolizes the creek, or the single track trail. So we blended it all together and created Jordan Creek Single Track. And we have 2 versions of this logo. I got it with it saying single track on the bottom of the S, and without, in case we need to get super clean and sharp when it comes to embroidery or screen printing, etc. So anyway, that's Jordan Creek Single Track. Actually, while I'm at it, here's the Fuel Foundations page. The funny thing is, I've been so busy, I'm not even finalizing the Fuel Foundations logo. This was just something I wanted to kind of symbolize foundational buildup, but we're still working on the brand of that. I was just too excited to get Hot Shots done and get the Jordan Creek going. So anyway, the point of Jordan Creek is literally, once I'm done with this podcast today, because I don't have enough to do, I need to get new hosting accounts established, and I need to check in with my buddy Greg, who's going to help me build out a new website for Fuel Foundations, because right now, if people typed in Jordan Creek Single Track, it was going to a landing page that I put on livethefuel.com just so people could find what Fuel Foundations is, what Jordan Creek is, what Hot Shots 19 is, because again, this is all charity. This is all free time, volunteer work. So once again, as my wife tells me, I'm really good at just stressing myself out because I just keep adding projects on. And again, it's all about having people help you, right? So I'm like, okay, you know what? I got a buddy, Greg. He's real techie. He can help me build the site. I can't do everything alone. So he's going to help me later today. We're going to get the new hosting account up, get the site established. That way it's not just driving traffic to livethefuel.com. Somebody already complained about that. I'm like, listen, really, dude? You guys are trying to critique the fact that I temporarily put up a landing page on livethefuel.com because that's a site that I already own, and I bought the domains. I'm like, this is all grassroots stuff, right? This is for you listeners. Like, this is a hint, right? Sometimes you got to take imperfect action. I'm trying to build momentum. You guys try to build momentum in your health, your business, your lifestyle. This is what we talk about on the show, right? Balancing and fueling your health, business, and lifestyle. Well, sometimes you just got to take action and get it out there. The founder of LinkedIn, one of his favorite quotes is like, if you're not embarrassed by the first product or service you put out there, you waited too long. Okay. So I said, hey man, let's get this logo done. Boom. Launched new stickers because I'm a sticker junkie. Actually, here we go. Let me step off camera real quick. Ugh. So we've always had the super high-end, very nice UV protected Live the Fuel logo decals. And then for Hot Shots 19, and these are covered up because these aren't really applied yet, but there's the Hot Shots 19 fire logo from our t-shirts that I turned into a decal as well. And then I created the first ever, you can't see this on the camera, but this is the thin purple line or thin violet line, which if anybody follows first responders, thin red line symbolizes fallen firefighters, thin blue line, fallen police, et cetera, et cetera. Well, we in the fallen wildland firefighting world choose purple or violet as our chosen color. So that fire logo and the fuel flag both tie into each other. They both have the same color code, purple for that. And then, because again, I'm a sticker junkie. And so now we have the JCS stickers. So boom, right there, JCS. So Jordan Creek single track stickers are cool because number one, it's made out of bike parts. But two, this was my grassroots idea saying, hey, wait a minute, why don't we get something material, something physical? So it's no longer just a Facebook page. Let's get the logo done. Let me get some stickers done. And then I'm currently advertising for that to the mountain biking community saying, hey guys, if you love our trails, please donate. And if you donate $5 or more, you'll get a sticker. And then I've already mailed out over 20 stickers as of Friday to people who have already donated instantaneously. So we've only had like 2 haters criticize how the process is working. And that's kind of like my hint of the day here on this. The whole theme behind this show is, you know what? I'm trying to celebrate some success on this show. I took some weeks off. There's a lot still happening: books, podcasting, business growth, business travel, Hot Shots 19, Fuel Foundations, Jordan Creek single track. There's just a lot going on. And that's why I decided, you know what, I could probably take another month off from this show, but I care about my listeners. And we already have a lot of shows in the tank stored up, ready to fire them up. So I was like, you know what, I got to record my own episode 301 because I've already got 10 to 15 shows waiting on standby to air. So I wanted to say hello to you guys, the listeners, again. But again, the theme to help close this show out for you guys is, listen, you're going to take imperfect action. That's the only way to start taking any kind of action. If you keep sitting around and something I've mentioned on this show many times, the paralysis by analysis, right? Overly analyzing things, waiting for the perfect time, waiting for the perfect, moment in your schedule, the perfect design. I mean, God, if you guys go way back and ever saw, I got to air that. I got to put a progression of the Live the Fuel logo. It has changed so many times over the years, improving it, honing it. It started off with just like a flickering flame on a Facebook page years ago, back in like 2014, I think. I didn't even have my LLC back then. I was still trying to figure out what the heck entrepreneurship was. Now we're coming to the end of 2019. It's 5 years later, almost 6 years. So anyway, just like Jordan Creek, right? Hey, I temporarily bought the domain, set up a landing page on livethefuel.com just to symbolize Fuel Foundations, Jordan Creek, and Hot Shots 19. And for now, it was all pointing there. And then, sure enough, I already got one hater saying, "Hey, dude, I don't like it when people take domain names and redirect them to their businesses to try and create more exposure." Well, kiss my ass. There you go. If you haven't listened to the show, that dude I'm talking about, kiss my ass. Because here's the thing, guys. I pay for all of it. Okay? I created Live the Fuel. I created Fuel Foundations. I created Jordan Creek single track. So this isn't really a pat on my back. This is just saying, hey, ladies and gentlemen, when you try and take successful actions moving forward, when you start taking imperfect actions, you will find a small percentage, hopefully small, hopefully not great, but a small percentage of people questioning what you're doing, not understanding what you're doing, or really trying to call you out on social media saying, dude, why don't you stop promoting your new stickers and launch a website already? I'm like, okay, yeah, because I don't have companies to run, help my paying clients build their businesses, their brands. Clients like Vinny Tortorich and Fat, a documentary, the movie that's sitting behind me there in yellow. There we go. Boom. That's right. I ran all the social media marketing for that. What? I have no problem dropping that. That movie's kicking ass and taking names online right now. So there's all kinds of stuff going on. I'm already hustling. All right. Well, part of the hustle is you're going to have a few haters. And actually, I got to give a shout out to my wife. My wife said the other night, she's like, you know what? Why do you care? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you never cared before. She's like, you know, the few times you got a hater on YouTube or whatever on Live the Fuel, like, why do you care? She's like, Joe Rogan doesn't care. She loves Joe Rogan. Okay. Loves his podcast. Won't listen to my show because we live together. She's like, listen, when you get big enough to be like Joe Rogan, maybe I'll listen. I'm like, all right, love you too. But she coached me on a very good tip. And that's why I'm taking her with me this week on my business trip, just because she needs to get away and I need to get away. But I'm like, you know what? She's like, dude, he's too busy to care what people are commenting, liking, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Because I'll admit, now that I run so many people's online social media, Facebook groups, everything else, I've got a VA helping with that now too. It's like, dude, I don't have the time. People are always like, oh man, did you see me post this or post that? I'm like, dude, honestly, I get on social media, I get done what we got to get done, boom, 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 and then I hop off. And then I might have time once a day just to hop in, 5-10 minutes, quickly update some things, and I'm off. Like, I'm too busy, dude. So shout out to my wife for coaching me on that. All right. I need to not care. But I think one of the reasons why I did care so much this past week with a couple of haters arising is that, you know, Fuel Foundations is a new passion project. And anybody who listens to the show knows I get passionate about a lot of things. So, but that's a lesson for this show as well, is that when you find something that gets you that fired up, right? That passionate. Like, I've had years of fired up energy and passion into Live the Fuel. And now it's sustainable. It's established, right? I've been building a portfolio of clients, but I never planned on building a marketing agency out of it. Now it is. I just launched Live the Fuel years ago to share inspirational and motivational content just to get it out of my head. And then boom, it starts turning into a brand. Then it turns into a podcast. You know, and the next thing you know, I start thinking about writing articles for a local magazine called Network Magazine. So I started putting in some reps on author stuff. I'm not a writer, dude. I don't even read books. I listen to them now in audiobooks. Then next thing you know, I'm writing a book. Next thing you know, I'm starting a foundation this year. I'm like, holy crap, dude, I didn't plan for half of this stuff. This stuff just unfolds. So that's part of the lessons for this podcast for you guys as I'm kicking off the 300s is that, great movie, by the way, 300. And I was like, you know what? There's part of that there, right? Sometimes you just got so much coming at you. You got to just take a break and just like, burp. That's what I did the past few weeks. Let's clean the slate. Let's get all these projects caught up. And this isn't just like business stuff. This is personal life stuff too, right? I just got married in March, and I've had so much going on. My wife has had so much going on. There's changes in her business coming up before the end of the year that I got to help with. There's changes in where I'm going to be taking the business next. Like, now I got the foundation to run things. I got board members now. Shout out to Brian again, dude. He's our brand ambassador for Live the Fuel. He rocks, you know, the fired up logo for our stuff. And I never planned on having a brand ambassador years ago. But one thing I've learned from podcasting, from books, all the conferences we go to the influencers that I connect with and have the honor to bring to you guys on this show, whether they're health gurus, business gurus, or lifestyle gurus, is that, you know what? Picking up a lot of knowledge. And as we continue to grow and succeed, you'll attract the haters along with the lovers. You just got to sort through the mess, keep rolling with it, keep punching through it, and keep taking that imperfect action, you know? So that's what I'm going to do the rest of this day, is continue to take some more imperfect action, get Fuel Foundation's site up online, go spend some money, because you got to spend money for hosting, right? I spend money every single month running LiveTheFuel.com's website, running the podcast, paying for bandwidth, never charged or asked for a dime from anybody. But that's why I'm so passionate about Fuel Foundations, because this is my nonprofit initiative. Here's a little hint. I've had on Mike McAllowitz on the show a long time ago. For people who listen to the show for a long time, I promoted the Profit First book, right? I use the Profit First accounting and bookkeeping methodology in my business, because since I started that, I literally created a for-purpose initiative on my business. So I hard-coded in the beginning 1% of my gross income, then 2% of my gross income, then 3% of my gross income. Now we're at 5% of my gross income. So 5% of all of my gross income for Live the Fuel and everything else I do under Fuel Enterprises, before I touch anything, before I even pay my taxes, 5% goes right to, it was going to a separate bank account. But now fast forward to today, now I have a Fuel Foundations. So I set up a separate bank account system for Fuel Foundations. And now those 5% transfers now go there. So I was already setting aside 1, 2, 3, and now 5% of gross income for purpose activities, right? Nonprofit, charities, whatever. I was always setting aside the money. And then once I had a certain amount, if there was somebody asking for a donation here or running an event there, that's what I was doing over the past couple of years. When I fast forward, we have Fuel Foundations. This is my personal passion project. I was already setting aside the money. So now the funny thing is, most of the money in that charity's startup account that I just launched for Fuel Foundations is actually mine. I put it in there. Now, granted, we've done some fundraising from the Hot Shots 19 workout. That money's already earmarked for a fire department. Now we have Jordan Creek single track. We've had a few people buy some stickers. So we've had some donations come in, maybe like a couple hundred. But again, most of the income in that account is from me, because I can thank Mike Michalowicz and the Profit First system, learning how to earmark money and set it aside, having a for-purpose business. So I'm hoping, obviously, that eventually we grow so much nonprofit support online and behind Hot Shots 19 and Jordan Creek, and then who knows, future projects that Fuel Foundations will be able to provide a foundation under to build off of. That's the whole theme behind this. Hopefully those donations and support infrastructures, supersede what I put in, but I will continue putting in because it's now hard coded. So now Live the Fuel fires up or fuels Fuel Foundation, along with our now online supporters, our mountain biking supporters, our fallen firefighter supporters, etc. But that's why I'm so fired up, because literally Live the Fuel, me, created Fuel Foundation. So it's all intertwined. It's super exciting. I'm still trying to imagine how I can create a cool graphic where it shows how, like, all right, Live the Fuel is firing up all these other initiatives like Fuel Foundations, but then Fuel Foundations is then firing or fueling Jordan Creek and Hot Shots and then whatever other new nonprofit we end up helping or supporting. Super exciting. So anyway, that's the point of this podcast, is just say, hey guys, what's up? Things have been crazy busy. Again, a documentary, busy clients that are hustling out there like Vinny Tortorich. New companies launching left and right, online brands. I'm helping a local bike shop here now, a pro bono, ever since her husband passed away of a heart attack. So I'm not charging them anything. It's just bike love. So thank God we don't have kids. So for those of you guys out there who are watching this and like you do have kids, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. That's how I want to close the show out, is we all have the same 24 hours in a day. Eventually, we will all be pushed to a point where you have to really assess where your priorities are at and what are you doing with that time. And this will continue to morph. I've had to learn this over the years. I've had to coach people on this through the years. I've had to get coached on this myself, okay? What I focus on in my day is not the same it was a year ago, not the same it was 2 years ago. So whether you have kids or not, whether you're parents or not, super aunts and uncles like my wife and I, you all have the same 24 hours in a day. So find what it is that fires you up. Find what it is that starts getting that flicker going. And then, start thinking about it. Like James, who made that cool light up with the fuel sign back there, right? Endurance Woodcraft, or woodworking, sorry. Dude, guy's a full-time engineer crushing it in his home wood shop, crushing out cool brands and signage out of wood. Okay. He found what fired him up, started doing that. Now he sells all that stuff on Etsy, and he was never on social media before. Now he's on social media sharing that stuff. And I'm like, because that's what fires him up. Brian Strausser, the Strausser Project, dude. That guy has so many things that fires him up. Mostly his daughter, which is super cool. But like, dude, he's made signage for me back there behind me. He's helped me on projects. He and I met over at the Jordan Creek Park. So that's why he's on the board. Like, find what fires you up. Assess your current 24 hours. Always account for your proper sleep, people. Healthy sleep is important. But then, let's take 8 off of that, right? So 8 out of 24. Those remaining hours, assess it. Okay? Maybe don't spend as much time on social media. Unplug for one day. Maybe schedule it. I don't know. But you got to figure out your day, and you got to figure out what fires you up. Maybe you have a side hustle in you. Maybe you have a business in you that you've always wanted to kind of play around with. But you know what? Life is short. At least if you don't like your job, you don't like your career, change it. And it might not happen in like 6 months or 2 years, but it's like, at least you got something going on your free time that fires you up. If anything, I find too many things to fire me up. So that's why I have a business coach. That's why I coach other people. But like I always tell you, that's another little takeaway for you guys. If you're working with a coach, please confirm that that coach has a coach. It's the only way to get better. Everyone should always have somebody helping them, put them in check, reassessing, looking at things. So that's how I'm going to close it out, guys. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. I literally have to go do Sunday family dinner after 5 o'clock. So now as of 3:30 p.m. now, I've got an hour and a half left to crush out some hustle work on a Sunday afternoon because that's my priority. And then Tuesday, I fly to Colorado, 2 days of intense sales meetings for my client and some manufacturers we work with. And then boom, fun day for the next 3 days with my wife and I. Gonna get some mountain biking in. Gonna go catch up with some of my old mountain biking crew from Cyclismo Youth Foundation out of Fort Collins, Colorado. Catch up with a couple of good friends of ours that came to our heli skiing wedding in the Canadian Rockies back in March on St. Patrick's Day. Shout out to John Ryan and Holly. But you know, hey, it's just take a couple of days and unplug, man. But again, thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. For the newer listeners, hello. Thank you for subscribing. Please submit a review on iTunes or whatever app you're actually using. Because this show is continuing to go. And stay tuned, there's gonna be some new format coming. We have a ton of shows already saved up, recorded, and edited, and ready to air. And we're right back on track. So thanks for hanging out with me on a Sunday. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, we're here to fuel your health, your business, and your lifestyle. You too can live a fuel. We'll talk to you guys again soon.